It's currently 11 p.m. and I thought we could have a little painting session together where I could show you my little painting tips, all the material I use, and just have a relaxing time. So I recommend you to light a candle like I did, maybe have some tea if you want to, and let's start painting together. So first of all, I want to show you all the material I use, all the little things I need. So we have, of course, my watercolor palette. This is from the brand Winsor & Newton, which is, I think, the most famous watercolor brand, I think. So this is how it looks. It's a little bit dirty in here. Mine has been used for many years. I think I stole this one from my dad, so I don't know how long he has been using it, but I really recommend it. I love it. And it also comes with a little brush. Then for the paintbrushes, I have a bunch of different paintbrushes coming from different stores. Mine aren't especially good quality. I just really like the Estelle. I have no idea how to pronounce that store, but Estelle paintbrushes. I love them because there are many different paintbrushes sizes, and they are very affordable. So if you're starting, I would really recommend these. As you can see, I mostly use really thin paintbrushes because I like painting in the details. This one is the one I use the most, but I also really love this one that is much bigger. Then for me, this is the material I would invest the most. It's paper. So for me, a good quality paper changes absolutely everything. I am someone who paints a lot of details, so I will paint many times on the same surface. So this is why I need a good quality paper that won't become bad as soon as I paint too many times on it. But if you are more of a free painter, by that I mean that you just do one or two paintbrushes on the same surface, then probably don't need a so good quality paper. But honestly, I think this is something that is very personal to each person. But mine is, the brand's name is Clairefontaine and the product's name is Aquapad, and this is how it looks. I don't know if this is very useful to show, but I really like this block. And for watercolors, you'll obviously need some water, so I just have always this really cute jar that I always fill with new water. You can use a glass if you want, a vase, whatever you want. I just always use this jar. But then this can seem quite surprising, but I use a sock because I used to have some paper that I would always have when I did a mistake or I put it too much water. But using a sock is, first of all, much better for the environment because you don't have to put it in the waste, and second of all, it absorbs much better than just normal paper. I have this clean sock that I use, and you can see some painting stains. Okay, so that was all the painting part, but I also always make a sketch before painting that I overline. So these are the things I use for the sketch and overlining before painting. Maybe I should have shown you that before, but I don't think it really matters. So I always use just a pen. How do you call this? Let's just call this a pen, even though I know it's not a pen. But to make the sketch, I think I got this one. I have no idea where I got this one, but I know it's a pretty cheap one. It just does what it needs to do for me. But if you want something for better quality, I think Faber-Castell has some. Then I use, of course, an eraser. And I also use these kneadable art eraser from Faber-Castell, this one. So these are the erasers that can erase slowly. How could I explain that? They're not that useful for me. They're definitely not the most important thing, but I just like having them as I do my sketch. And finally, my beloved ones, the liners I use. So I'm going to show you an example. These are the kind of illustrations I make, and as you can see, there is an overline line. When I do my sketch, I like to overline before adding the paint, but I know some people do that and the water makes stain with the pen trace. I have no English abilities right now, but I just really like these because when you overline your sketch and then add water after a minute or two, there are no stains and no problem and everything stays put. I bought these on Amazon and the brand name is Stadtler. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's this thing right here. They are called Full Pigment Liner. I really recommend these. For sketching, I don't really have any techniques. I've never taken any drawing classes, so I really don't have a lot of theory, but I usually just look at my image and I trace the lines I see. I don't intend to make an identical replica of the image, so at some point I usually end up with something that I like, and this is all I do. As my art style is mostly illustration, I like to overline my sketches, but in the overlining part, I only draw on the big and important lines. I never trace on the shadows, or almost never, because I like to keep the shadows only for the painting part. For the coloring part, I always have the same process where I start by putting the same color all over the painting. It's always the lightest color. So for this croissant, it was really pale yellow. And then I layer from the lightest to the darkest color. And finally, I add the shadows with the darkest colors and the little details. One thing that I would also recommend maybe learning a little bit is color theory, because I used to think that to make a color darker, I should obviously have to mix it with brown, but sometimes you can be surprised on color mixes and just trying different things and maybe looking it a little bit on the internet, because you can find a lot of things about that, and it really improves the colors on your painting when you know what mixes to make. Sometimes, like me in here, you will put a too dark color or not the right color, so for that you can just put a little bit of water with your brush out the color. If you don't do it too often, then you will be able to put another color on the paper. Just be careful to not do this too many times, because then your paper will get damaged. So I just finished my little sticker designing. This is the little croissant. I'm not that glad on how it turned out, but I'm going to accept the way it is. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope it was calming, relaxing, and I hope it made you want to paint. Remember that you do not need a lot of material to do watercolors, and you do not need the best quality of it. If you liked this video, please subscribe. If you would like me to make more art content, tell me in the comments. I also have an Instagram page dedicated to my watercolors. I'll see you soon in the next video. I love you so much. Take care of yourselves and good night.